Sup, you chuckle fucks, it's your boy Dark Raku here with What If Issei had a powerful sacred gear and had special eyes, part 2. So yeah, I wanted to upload part 2 yesterday, but I couldn't because when I got home I just said fuck it, I want to go to sleep because I only had 3 hours of sleep that day. But for some reason I was still awake, more awake than right now. Right now last night I kind of had like 6 hours of sleep, but I'm still fucking tired. I don't know what the fuck. Like I woke up in the morning yesterday feeling better than normal. Like I had sleep for like 10 hours, and yet I know I slept for only 3 hours. I don't fucking know why, but my body's fucking weird like that. I have no clue. Maybe I could just sleep for 3 hours and I'm fucking good. Or maybe I just have to sleep for more hours and I'm fucking better. I have no clue. But other than that, let me begin into this what if I know I'm rambling on, and let me begin. Okay. So we begin into Issei kind of getting ready to, well, kind of get to school. This is where, well, Issei got his uniform, he got his phone, he got his headphones, he got his gun, he got his other gun. No, I'm just kidding. well, maybe. But for real, he's just gonna keep it, he just keeps it on the low just in case someone wants to pull up and get their ass popped. But not the point. He got the knife, but don't worry about that. This is where, well, Issei is kind of getting to school. Just walking mostly to school, but before going to school, he sees Murahama and Matsui, or mostly, he still sees Matsui. Murahama is right now mostly kind of in the hospital. Yeah, he was kind of going through a seizure. Mostly, Matsui did tell him what happened, and this is where, well, Issei really gets pissed off. He punches the wall. Mostly, before going to school, he punches like the fence wall. Of course, he made a huge-ass dent, like his fist. It dented into the wall, of course, is where it's bleeding his knuckles, but of course he doesn't care. This is where, well, mostly, Matsui has never seen mostly Issei like this, just angry, pissed off. He just said, not the point. Sorry about that. Is your hand good? Yeah, it's fine. I'm good anyway, like that. Okay, so what do we do? So, what we gotta do is basically, I'm gonna have to train you. Well, train you in Murahama. What about his traumatized? If Murahama is still traumatized, I won't train him. But if I can, maybe, I don't know much about traumatized. Seriously, you're just like serious badass motherfucker who doesn't care about killing someone or manipulating them, and yet you don't understand anything about traumatizing? Well, no, I never had it. What about when you got your first kill? I felt nothing. This is where he just said it coldly. This is where, well, Muhammad say, okay, damn, you cold-blooded motherfucker. This is where, well, he says, well, I didn't care at all. Like, my grandfather said it was natural to not care. So, I didn't really care at all about killing anyone. So, yeah. This is where, well, not Muhammad, Matsui said, holy damn. How... I think if I would have killed someone, if my grandfather told me to kill someone, I would have been traumatized. Well, that's a problem. My grandfather never expected me to actually kill someone with ease. Of course, he was thinking I might have cried, saddened, or something. He was prepared to, like, give me a bunch of, like, mental help. Not the case for me. I really didn't care. At that point, mostly when people were bullying me in elementary, I was at the breaking point to not care. And when I was training, I was trained for revenge most of the time. Matsui says, okay, Issei. Goddamn, what the fuck? Does your parents know about this? Oh, hell no, they don't. The only person that knows about this is my grandfather. And my grandfather is long gone. He's no longer in this world, and rest his soul. But, that's not the point. He's gone. So, of course, I carried the legacy of, what he wanted to carry the legacy before. But that's not the point. My father doesn't know about this. My mother doesn't know about this. And I'd rather keep it like that. So why are you telling me now? Because... shit. Besides, you two are basically my childhood best friends. Of course, then there's Iron, or mostly... was it Iron? This is where Matsui sweats off and says, you know, her name was Irina, right? It was a girl? This is where Matsui sweats off even more, saying, yes, it was a girl. Why was a girl play with us? This is where Matsui says, I don't know. The fuck should I know? This is where, well, Issei said, I don't care. Okay, Irina, okay, she is considered a childhood friend, but I haven't seen her. Seen her how many fucking years? Yeah, I don't really consider her a best friend or childhood friend. So, you get the point. I guess that's true. What about, what was his name? Which one? Edward or, what's his name? Leonard. Huh? Oh, you talking about some of the twins? The twins that were there for like a couple of days and then disappear? Yeah, I'm talking about those. Well, they're not really, well, they are kind of twins. Well, I consider them twins when we were meeting up because, well, they didn't have the last name the same, but mostly, if I can remember right, Edward and Leonard were from Ireland. And I guess they went back to Ireland. Ah, that's cool. Well, what about them? Same. They only been there for like one day. They were even less than what's called Irina's like possible just meeting up. I guess you're right. And besides, I don't still trust Irina's like whole family. There are a bunch of like crazy Christians. This is where, well, mostly says, why you say that? Because if I can remember right, do you remember that one time me, you, Murahama, Leonard, well, yeah, not Leonard, mostly me, you, Murahama and Irina went to her house? I saw nothing but just fucking Jesus Christian fucking photos everywhere. Like they were just obsessed with God or something. This is where, well, mostly said, I guess you're right. Now that I think about it, they were kind of really obsessed with God. They praise during the morning, the day, the night. They praise every time. They were like praying every single fucking time. So I guess you're not wrong. How do you think Irina looks like now? Why do you ask? I guess you still have her two orange, like, mostly, well, not orange tails, mostly. She probably has long orange hair. Probably the two ponytails. Purplish eyes. Probably the same purple eyes because I don't think those change. Unless they change into gold and she actually becomes like some kind of angel. Blah, 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 blah. This is where, well, mostly kind of chuckles and says, I guess you're right. Wasn't she like always saying that she wanted to be an angel? Yeah, and I was literally saying, yeah, sure. I didn't care at that time. I guess so. This is where, well, mostly they're walking. This is where, well, Masui says, still, so what are we gonna train after school? You said you were gonna train me. Okay, so you do know how to handle a gun, right? Motherfuckers, this is Japan, not America. Okay, I can see that. Well, I'm gonna train you on how to handle a gun, but we're gonna have to get your physical body up. Bro, my physical body is much better than yours, but yet you couldn't clock someone out. What? Okay, fine. Okay, what's actually your physical body? Because you wear, well, loose clothes a lot. What? No, I don't. Yes, you do. Motherfucker, you're wearing loose-ass clothes right now. This is where, well, he says, okay, fine. If you want to tell you something, I'll show you later. It will sound kind of gay now that I think about it. No, I'm not showing you later. But truly, I'm actually physically built under these like loose clothes. I just never show them off because I don't care. Okay. So, you're gonna try to make me get stronger? Yeah. So, you know in gym class where we do a bunch of like this, that, whatever? Uh-huh. Well, I want you to do extra. Like how many more? 100. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 crunches, and a 10-kilometer run. This is where, well, Masui says, okay, what the fuck? I'm not gonna be doing that. If you don't do it, I'll threaten you right now. This is where, well, Masui like notice Issei lift up his like shirt a little bit to show like a gun like handle, and this is where Masui say, okay, don't shoot me. The fuck? Issei, what the hell? This is where, well, Issei says, dude, I'm just trying to make sure you don't die in the world. Because there's some random shit that usually happens. Luckily, this is Kuo, and Kuo doesn't have much random, actually, no. Well, mostly not random gangster fights. Other shit, yes, there's random shit that mostly will cause, like, let's say that you actually accidentally kind of like bumped into a girl, and that girl kind of noticed in who you are from mostly this school, and then the girl kind of just says, to her parents and lied and about something something, and her father tries to hunt you down and kill you. What were you gonna do? Well, because in my reason, I would have shot the father in an instant. This is where Matsui says, "God damn, Issei, what the fuck?" This is where, well, Issei said, "Hey, I don't want to die. That motherfucker's gonna have to die." This is where Matsui says, "You're so cold-blooded. What the hell? I don't care. Like, it's the fittest of the survival, right? Fucking, I'm gonna be the best in shooting a gun. So fuck off." This is where, well, Matsui nodded and says, "Okay, I understand. Well, let's go to what's it called? Well, let's just keep going towards mostly class or school or whatever." Fine. This is where when they get to school, of course, this is where, well, there's rumors. Somewhat rumors, but people don't believe shit from these like three like dudes that are kind of just going on saying that Matsui and Issei were at this bar and they beat the shit out of them, and then blah 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 blah. This is where, well, Issei and Matsui just walked past them, and this is where Matsui sweatshops, and this is where Issei just has a very calm, cool look just because he doesn't care. This is where, well, Matsui kind of noticed that people aren't going to believe their shit. This is where, well, mostly Issei said, "Exactly. Didn't I already tell you this, that they won't, people won't believe random bullshit? Since our kind of scores of, how should I say, physically, well, let's say this again. You know how we're the trio of perverts, right?" This is where Matsui nodded. "Well, since that, mostly everyone in this whole entire school doesn't believe that we're physically built and capable to fight, and capable to go to a bar. We're probably just nerds to them, and blah 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 blah." "I see. So that's why you decided never to stop us when we were just being the perverted trio." "Exactly. Because if I stopped you, people would wonder why we stopped. So should we stop now about the whole perverting thing on the candle class?" "Oh, of course, hell yes." "Wait, why do you want to stop now?" "Because if we don't stop right now, mostly Murahama, when he comes back from his traumatic idea, he would just think that mostly every time he gets traumatic things, he would have to go towards a girl or whatever. And do you want Murahama to go down the path of mostly an artist? Do you know what that is?" Oh yeah, no. Nah. I don't really want him to be in jail, so I guess you're right." "Exactly. So you want him to be a murderer instead?" "Fuck it, man." This is where, well, Matsui says, "Really?" This is where he says, "No, I'm joking, but for real. And we're just gonna have to try to help his freaking mental state. Besides, he just got his ass, first, Summer, he was, I guess, happy or depressed, I can't fucking tell. Mostly, how should I say, he got a date, he got his ass dumped, and then he got his ass kicked. So think of all that trauma." "Okay, well, that's true." "Exactly. Now you're gonna help me or what?" "Okay, yes, I am." "Then let's go." This is where, well, they get to class, of course. First hour was just boring. Second hour was also boring. Third hour was boring. Fourth hour was also boring. Fifth hour was mostly gym class, and of course Issei and Matsui. They were mostly training, or what's it called? Not even in gym class. They were training outside of mostly just a random place of the forest of the school, because there's a patch of forest. This is where, well, Matsui and Issei are basically just training, and of course this is where, well, Issei's doing crunches while Matsui's trying to do push-ups. He's doing like 50 push-ups right now. Even though with his jock status is kind of gone since he became the bald pervert of the school, he's still going to, he still knows how to train. His body isn't like fully like, what's it called, already became back into mostly being like scrawny and other things. He still had a bit of muscle, so of course he's training on that. This is where, well, we go into mostly a couple of mostly days of this happening. Since mostly, well, it was a Monday, since mostly that whole event happened on a, what's it called, Friday, but yeah. And of course, it worked well. Issei Matsui has been actually training for like 3 days straight. Now, of course, Matsui's body isn't sore, but of course, we go into Motohama actually coming back. Motohama, when he came back, he talked to his friends, and of course, his friends weren't interested in the whole, like, mostly P-Hub stuff or whatever. And this is where, well, Issei said, "Hey Matsui, I have a great, well, not a great way." Matsui and Issei kind of managed to manipulate, well, Motohama into kind of training with them. Now, of course, it was terrible for Motohama because Motohama has never got that physic ability, and mostly, what's it called, in middle school. He was mostly like a nerd, a geek, who was like liking science a lot. Of course, well, when he was training with Matsui and Issei, he could barely keep up. But of course, after a couple of days, we go into mostly a week time skip, and of course, or mostly a 2-week time skip, and of course, mostly the Kendall girls actually kind of got worried from the fact that mostly Issei, Matsui, and Motohama hasn't really showed up to kind of peep on the girls. Actually, hasn't really went to peep on any of the girls' Kendall class or any of the other kind of like clubs that are kind of girls. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly we go into mostly Kendall, well, not Kendall, mostly Catherine and Moriyama, kind of looking around for the perverted trio, or mostly one of them at least, and saw, well, Issei. Issei was actually getting right now pushed up by the 3 of the, what's it called, bullies? Well, 3 of, what's it called, those like somewhat bullies that were with that other guy. The other guy had kind of blackish hair, with kind of a reddish streak of blackish hair. Well, not blackish hair. Blackish hair with a red streak on his head, and of course, kind of bluish eyes. Now, of course, he was someone like he was on the football team with the other friends. But of course, mostly he died, and of course, this is where, well, they're trying to right now pull up on Issei. That's why they're right now in front of Issei. Now, Catherine and Moriyama noticed this. But not the only people noticed that, well, mostly Catherine and Moriyama were not the only ones who actually noticed, well, Issei getting pulled up by the, or mostly, yeah, getting pulled up by the, by these, like, 3 football team members. Of course, there was another girl kind of just watching this. The only reason why she was watching this is because she kind of heard of, what's it called, mostly like the football team with their lead member kind of dying, and the whole kind of fact that, what's it called, it's around by the trio of perverts, which no one believes that. Even her doesn't really believe this shit. But she's from the kind of like newspaper of the school, so of course she's trying to figure this out. She's right now seeing one of the one of the pervert trios, being that of the leader being Issei. Of course, is where she doesn't believe that Issei can do anything. Of course, is where, well, the kind of shock members are kind of trying to bully Issei and trying to say, "Yeah, what are you gonna do? You don't have your friends here." Issei said, "I don't need my friends to kick your ass and put you in like the fucking water. I don't care." This is where, well, mostly they were about to like try to like fight him or try to like push him, but this is where Issei noticed the person was about to push him, grabs his hand, and of course crushing it by a tight grip. This is where the person feels his arm actually being kind of crushed, and this is where, well, one of his friends noticed his like kind of pain look, so of course one of them tried to throw a punch at Issei, but Issei managed to dodge by kind of just like mostly spinning. He just dodges by spinning, or not dodges by spinning. He just dodges to the right because the punch was supposed to aim for his like face at the left side, but of course he just turns to the right. This is where, well, mostly the person misses and says, "Huh? What the? He's nothing. Just kick his ass. Maybe we're just drunken at that time." This is where they're trying to fight him because mostly they were kind of drunken, but they were kind of still trash at fighting. But yeah, this is where, well, the bullies, well, mostly do try to attack Issei, but of course, again, that one dude trying to throw that punch mostly misses, and Issei grabs it and of course kind of like pushes it up by snapping this guy's arm. This is where the guy screams like, "Oh, no, my arm again!" This is where Issei says, "Really? I stabbed your arm again? Damn, you're a pathetic bitch." This is where he still grabs the arm and kicks this guy in the side of the head right now, smashing him down to the ground. Issei's a pathetic bitch. This is where, well, another person, well, mostly the last dude, right now grabs mostly the stick and tries to attack Issei. And this is like, "Really? Motherfucker, a stick?" This is where Issei grabs the stick and says, "Really? Really?" Issei is just dumbfounded with this motherfucker. This is where, well, the person says, can we talk about this?" Issei says, "No, I'm going to literally kill you. The fuck are we literally going to talk about?" how the fuck you use fucking stick as a weapon? Motherfucker, use your hands. Whatever. Punches this guy in the face so hard, kind of breaking some teeth. This is where, well, Issei then drops this motherfucker down to the ground. He says it's kind of just like shakes the blood off his hand. Of course, where he noticed one dude is trying to crawl away, and he says, no. Whoever said you can walk away or kind of just crawl away, I don't like you doing that. So let me break your little, like, what's it called, foot bone that's down there again. This person says, please talk about this. He says, oh, we can talk about this later. This is where Issei stomps on the guy's, like, mostly near the foot, well, the bone of his foot. This is where snapping again. This is the guy. He's crying in an instant, pleading for Issei for mercy. Issei says, mercy? That's not in my vocabs, mostly. Vocabulary. Whatever. You get the point, right? I just don't care about you fuckers. Besides, you guys already died to me. So, you guys won't be able to ever attack me. And if you attack me or my friends again, I won't hesitate to kill you in an instant. Issei said with such a cold, dead voice, right now scaring the shit out of all three of them. Of course, they were staying quiet because mostly Issei said, and also don't scream, because if you scream and alert anyone, I won't hesitate to throw your bodies into literally the river and make you see your lifeless bodies be taken away by the ocean or the river. This is where they were crying silently, and this is where Issei then walks away. But of course, he just walks away without a care in the world. He's laughing kind of cockily. Think of it like Gojo when Gojo just walks on those ants when those principals were talking and other things. He was going, ha 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 ha. Yeah, that's how Issei was kind of laughing. He didn't care that much. He really didn't care about his violent tendencies because that's mostly just how he acts most of the time. This is where, well, mostly the Kendo duo were actually just horrified, mostly how Issei just dealt with them. We had a care in the world. He was like a vicious beast. He wasn't the perverted beast. He was like a vicious beast that would just unleash on these like three idiots. Of course, I can see that mostly the three of them did try to fight, mostly tried to like, why can't I speak? Mostly, let's again. Tried to start a fight with Issei, and Issei literally just maul on them. Well, not maul on them, mostly beat the shit of them. Really brutally and bloody. And Issei didn't care. He really didn't care. And he even threatened them to actually shut them the fuck up. This is where, well, mostly, well, the duo, mostly Kendo girls, wanted to actually find out and why Issei was this violent. Now, of course, this is where, well, mostly someone else was very curious about Issei. The fact that Issei is more violent than normal shows that maybe something happened, or maybe it was long term and he was just hiding it. That's mostly what the news girl wants to actually find out. Now, she has, well, I should mention what this girl kind of looks like. This girl kind of has greenish hair and of course purplish eyes. But yeah, she also has this interesting ability, but I'll mention that later. This is where, well, we go into Issei kind of meeting up with his friends in the forest. And of course, where the two Kendo girls wanted to actually, well, find out where mostly Issei went. And noticed that Issei and Murahama were going to the forest, which were confused. But of course, decided to follow them, but staying still far away. Of course, Issei's sensory was trying to find if anyone was following them. And of course, noticed that mostly the two Kendo girls were following them. Of course, Issei decides to just cut off the whole showing the guns and of course training both Matsui and Murahama on it, because he told them that mostly there's people watching us. And he decides to, well, mostly Murahama got very paranoid and says, where? This is where, well, Matsui says, dude, shut up, or we're gonna get found out that we already know about their location. Are you sure we're getting followed? Yes, it's none other but the Kendo girls. Why them? They probably already figured out that we haven't actually spied on them in a while. This is where, well, mostly Murahama said, not Murahama, Matsui said, so annoying. Now I should mention one thing. Matsui's hair has actually started becoming bigger after a while. He's no longer shaving it most of the time. So of course it started growing back normally, but yeah. It's mostly like a puffy hair that he has, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly Matsui noticed, mostly Murahama noticed that that's how his friend's hair used to be, so yeah. No, of course, this is where, Issei has kind of been just like, uh, wearing kind of black t-shirts underneath what's it called, his school uniform, but yeah. But this is where, well, both, Hama and Matsui say, so what do we do? We just kind of just wait here, and probably wait into the dark. But wouldn't that cut into our sleep? What's better? Dealing with the girls that are right now following us, and just staying out here at night, and wasting their damn time? Or going to actually show them and what we're actually made of? Well, we can't really fight them, can we? No, we can't. Because that would cause more rumors. And it's better to just beat the shit out of the jocks than actually deal with what they call girls. This is where, well, Matsui Monohama kind of questioned what they mean. Issei says that he was getting pulled up by the three kind of like jocks. Of course, he took care of them. He said it with such a evilish, vicious grin, and this is where which scared the shit out of both of his friends. This is where, well, Matsui says, you didn't. No, I didn't do that. I beat the shit out of them. I made sure that they stay silent forever, and I made sure they stay muted forever. This is where Matsui like sighs in relief, thinking that mostly Issei wasn't gonna kill them, but yeah. So yeah. But of course they weren't. Well, mostly both Matsui and Issei and even Monohama were just talking about random stuff, not trying to give the girls any clues. Of course, they are not the only ones watching this. Well, mostly, of course, the two Kendo girls are watching this, but they're not the only ones. There's actually two other people that are watching this. Now, of course, the only reason they're watching this is because one of them asked the other girl to kind of help her out. But yeah. So, both of these people are just watching. This is where one girl kind of says the girl, mostly the girl with greenish hair and purple eyes, saying, Cecile, seriously, how long do we have to watch this? I'm so bored. Can we go home? This is where the girl now known as Cecile kind of glares at her kind of like lazy, mostly lazy attitude friend who just, or mostly they're not really friends, but they're in the same class. But mostly Cecile kind of just asks for her because of her interesting ability that she has. But yeah, her name is, mostly the other person that Cecile kind of mentions is, so her name is Serafina, and this is where, well, Selena says Serafina, or Sarah. Shut up for a second. I needed your ability just in case anything happens. Your time manipulation ability is actually helpful. God damn it. Is that why you only brought me? You could have brought anyone else from our class. I hate it here. It's so boring. They're just nothing but talking. Why do we have to spy on the perverted trio? Shouldn't the perverted trio spy on us? This is where Sarah kind of just sad at her so boredom, laziness, tone, and this is where, well, Cecina says, that is true, but mostly they're acting strange, or mostly the leader's acting strange. Then again, always the leader acts strange, and the others kind of just follow. So, I don't care how long we have to stay here. Unless we have to stay here tonight, I refuse to do something like that. That seems stupid. This is where, well, mostly Sarah says, yeah, I know. I'm gonna go to sleep. Anything that happens, just wake me up and I'll use my ability to get out of here. Fine, just go to sleep. This is where 5 hours pass, and Issei is still using his senses to figure out if they're still over there. This is where, well, mostly Issei said, they're still here. How long will they stay? This is where his friends are already asleep, and this is where, well, but Issei kind of just like act like his two friends are still there by just talking to himself. And this is where, well, mostly the girls are just there already, still asleep. And this is where Issei noticed that they're actually falling asleep. And this is where Issei switches up and says, okay, everyone just fell fucking asleep. What the hell? Fuck it. This is where, well, he gets his two friends, and of course where he then just kind of like runs off, but then comes back after a while to kind of go check on mostly the girls. This is where, well, he stays on the mostly on top of the tree. Yes, he left his two friends back at home pretty fast. He's actually much more faster than you would think. But yeah. So Issei is actually above the girls, mostly on the tree branch, and of course he's hearing mostly dead to me made by someone, don't worry about that. But he's hearing mostly music and falling asleep, but yeah. Now, of course, it's already like almost, how should I say, like 1 in the morning because they've been there for a while. And of course, Issei's only above them because just to make sure that no creatures actually attack them. And of course, just in case they don't wake up any fucking time soon or not. You will have to wake them up later, but right now he's just hearing music. This is where it will. It now starts at 1:30, and this is where it will. His ringtone actually plays, but yeah. So this is mostly the song that actually plays for his what they call mostly just alarm. It's mostly a prong song, but it's called useless weapon. Yeah, useless weapons. God damn, why is this slow? Yeah, useless weaponry, and it's just a prong, and this is how the song just plays. But yeah. So it sounds like two ducks kind of going quack quack, and this one just go boom. This is where it wakes the shit out of Issei, even what's it called, the other girls, because Issei forgot to actually put it very loud. He kind of has this because he usually wants to train at night, and he completely forgot about this. And this is where he realized his phone was on him. This is where he freaks out and almost falls down to the ground, which he does. And this is where he's like, "Oh fucking hell! I completely forgot about that." This is where, well, most of the girls wake up, and this is where mostly even Sarah, Selena, fucking Catherine, even Moriyama says, "What the hell?" This is where Issei falls in. Ah, fuck! I completely forgot about that. Damn it, son of a. Fuck, I forgot I'm in the forest. Nope. Yep. Completely forgot about that entirely. Oh, for fuck's sakes, can you people just fucking go home already? This is where Issei said towards all the girls, and this is where all of them gets on guard. This is where all of them gets on guard and says, "Huh? Wait, where are we? What? Huh? What?" This is where Selena already realized what happened. This is where they accidentally fell asleep because mostly Issei and the others haven't really done anything. Just sat there and talked. It even went into the night, so of course she fell asleep around kind of like 10 o'clock. But yeah, this is where, well, he just said, "Can you people just like go home or something?" Jesus Christ, I had to just sit up there because I wasn't worried about you people. Yeah, I wasn't fucking worried at all. God damn, can you people just go home already? This is where, well, mostly, Catherine Moriyama says, yeah? But what was that? This is where Issei says, "That was my ringtone for mostly midnight some stuff." I mean, that's not the point. I was supposed to do something during that time of the ring, but I wasn't expecting it to be that loud. I completely forgot I put it that loud. Oh, damn it. My ears are kind of ringing. Yeah, I should mention Issei had his headphones on, so that happens. This is where, well, he says, and I broke my headphones. Fuck! Oh, whatever. Issei puts it around his neck, even though they're broken. Yeah, he still doesn't care. And this is where, well, Issei managed to turn off the ringtone after a while because he managed to just silence it. This is where, well, he then kind of just turns it off and keeps ringing because it's just buzzing right now. And this is where, well, Issei goes back to his music until they hear this loud roar for a second. This is where he says, "What the hell was that?" Catherine Moriyama says, "What the?" This is where, well, mostly, Selena and even what's it called, Sarah says, "What the hell is that?" This is where a huge creature appears in the night, mostly in the field where mostly Matsui and Murahama were at, or mostly used to be at, mostly Issei's spot also. But mostly Issei already brought his friends back home, and of course mostly just put a kind of message towards them saying that he basically just brought them back home because they were easy to pick up, especially Murahama. He's still a lightweight, so yeah. But that's not the point. This is where he says, "Ah, shit, that can't be." This is where Selena and even Sarah says, "Stray!" This is where, well, mostly also Moriyama and Catherine say, "Stray!" This is where, well, they all know what a stray is because they know about the supernatural. And the stray says, "Ooh, delicious humans. I wasn't expecting to find such delicious humans here. So who would like to be my first meal? Maybe it should be that male right there." She's right now drooling, and he says, "I don't think I would be a good meal for anyone." But hey, who cares right now, doesn't it? This is where, well, Issei kind of, like, lift up his shirt for a second. And of course, the girls kind of notice this, mostly sees Issei lift up his shirt real fast. Which mostly all the girls notice the kind of six-pack that he has underneath. Which, of course, all of them kind of almost had a blood nose entirely. But, of course, Issei pulls out two guns. Now, of course, these two guns were supposed to be practice guns for what's it called, Matsui Murahama. Of course, they only have what's it called, rubber bullets. But, of course, this is where he takes out the rubber bullets and put actual bullets. And this is where Issei said, "How about this? I'll blast you straight to hell. And, you can stay there forever. This is where, well, the devil says, do you think bullies is actually going to... This is where she actually screams because mostly she got hit in the eye. And this is where she's screeching because, well, the fact that he, pretty much shot her in the eye. The stray devil. There's the devil saying, you stupid human. This is where he just starts blasting like hell. He doesn't care if the girls are still there. This is where he says, move out of the way already. This is where he just screams and commands. This is where, well, all the girls kind of freeze and kind of like move. This is where Issei jumps out of the bushes. And this is where he then pulls out what's it called, mostly 2 extra like clips. Mostly the, not clips, mostly, yeah, clips. No, not clips, the magazines. He pulls out 2 extra magazines and kind of like puts him into the mostly guns. And of course starts shooting more at the devil. No, of course the bullets are being able to pierce through the skin of the devil. The stray devil screaming out saying, you stupid human, die! This is where she tried to use some magic and tried to shoot out some like this weird liquid from her kind of like her jugs. And this is where Issei managed to dodge while she's jumping out of the way. And of course this is where, well, he kind of sees what's it called, Sarah kind of rushing in. And of course, Issei says, that idiot, what is she going to do to her? Well, Sarah managed to kick the devil so hard in the chin, actually making the devil kind of look up. Mostly towards Issei, and Issei said, okay, that's what she's gonna do. This is where Issei right now changes his guns into different guns. This is where, well, one being somewhat of a crimson red bullet, mostly crimson red gun, and the other one kind of being like a holy gun. And this is where he starts shooting down towards the devil's eyes, and they had like 8 eyes in total, or whatever. And this is where, well, he started just blasting every single eye right now, making the devil blind like hell. The devil right now says, you stupid humans. This is where, well, we go into mostly Selena right now using her ability, and that's basically energy ropes. And this is where, well, she managed to kind of tie up the straight devil. And this is where both, well, Moriyama and Catherine. Moriyama makes a sword out of nowhere. Mostly she unsheaths a wooden sword, but this is where it turns into like a holy kind of weapon. For a second, it's not even the Excalibur, it's something else. And this is where, well, she then calls upon the sorcerer, well, mostly the Sword of Justice, that's what it's called. And of course, it turns like a white sword. Of course, it has a silverish aura. And this is where she like swings it down, and white silverish energy rushes straight toward the straight devil, smashing it. And this is where the devil goes, And this is where, well, the devil is screaming because of the kind of, it has somewhat holy energy. So of course, it's hurting it a lot. And this is where, well, Moriyama then kind of uses something that's called twice critical, which should just boost her up her strength. And of course, where, well, I don't think the twice critical can actually give energy towards a user unless it's actually the red boost, well, the red dragon booster gear. So of course, what's it called? Well, she doesn't have twice critical. She has what's it called? Well, she does have twice critical, but she also has another sacred gear that's actually kind of, well, not a sacred gear. It's actually like a sword thing that she got from her family. But yeah, this is where she unsheathed the wooden sword and then transformed into an actual, like a goldenish, well, mostly it's like a, let me say this again. This is how the blade looks like. This is a sword, somewhat it kind of goes into kind of having like this flowery pattern, but mostly it's like the Sakura's kind of flowery pattern. And of course, where it's red, the blade is kind of like a pinkish red, it lights up like that. And of course, where, well, the twice critical energy goes into the Sakura, mostly the katana Sakura blade. Of course, it's mostly something that kind of goes down from her kind of like lineage. So yeah, mostly Catherine. But yeah, but this is where, well, she kind of like uses the sword to swing also a kind of like pinkish lightish slash straight towards the straight devil. And this is where the straight devil kind of screeches out. This is where, well, this straight devil says, I'm not gonna die. This is where Issei noticed that mostly they're all using different abilities. So of course Issei sighs and started using his sacred gear. This is where, well, he then calls upon actually a name. Mostly, he doesn't use a sacred gear entirely. Well, he uses something that kind of shocks everyone. A sword that he managed to make. The same sword that he uses against the fallen angel. The sword is called the Golden Dark Blade. But yeah, the Golden Dark Blade. He calls upon it. This is where the Golden Dark Blade right now emanates this darkness. This huge amount of darkness from him, and bloodlust. And this is where Issei swings down it, and right now slashes the devil into 2. The devil goes screeches and of course disappears into nothing but ash. This is where Issei falls down to the ground, stabbing the ground, and of course using the blade to kind of make his make the what's it called fall not actually hurt him that much by turning the ground into kind of like this dark mush for a second. This is where Issei says, "Such a pain in the ass." This is where Issei then transformed the blade back into the two pistols because he can, and this is where the girls are kind of shocked to see Issei somewhat do like something like that because mostly he seems to also have a sacred gear, but it's kind of strange for a second. But yeah, this is where Issei looks at them and says, "I guess you know about the supernatural, so I don't need to explain shit, do I?" This is where Selena says, "And I guess you also know about the supernatural, so we don't need to explain anything to you." "Nope, because I don't need to." Now, other than that, I want to question one thing. Why the hell were you people following me? Actually, better question. Why are you guys just spying on us? What, were you expecting us to kind of just lift up our shirts and be kind of half naked just because we used to peep on you girls? Except for you and you. This is where he points at Selena and also Sarah. And this is where, they are kind of blushing a little bit, even Catherine and Moriyama. Because Catherine and Moriyama, that was not the case. Issei said, "What, were you expecting us to kind of..." This is where Issei started pulling down his, mostly pulling up his shirt. And this is where showing off, his six-pack. And this is where the girls right now almost blood noses in an instant. Issei knows what he exactly is doing. He's just trying to see if they're actually perverts. And if that happens, he can try to manipulate the situation. This is where, most of the girls try to stop him from actually pulling up all his shirt. Even Sarah tried to stop it. Somewhat. She's actually enjoying the sight somewhat. She never actually expected one of the perverts to actually be physically built like that. This is where, she's actually more interested in actually seeing more. But yeah. This is where, mostly Selena noticed Sarah kind of what she's doing. And this is where Sarah is just kind of blushing more. And of course having a blood nose. And seeing more of mostly Issei and not saying anything. This is where Selena says, "Sarah!" This is where Sarah right now steps and says, "Yes, Selena?" This is where, Selena says, "What the hell? Aren't you going to help us stop him from actually fully taking off his shirt?" Sarah kind of says, "Well, I wouldn't mind seeing more." This is where, Issei kind of puts back his shirt back on and saying pervs. This is where, all of them right now freak out in an instant saying, "We're not pervs! You're the perv!" This is where Issei says, "Really? Then why are all of you having blood noses, especially her, the pinkish kind of yellowish hair girl?" This is where, mostly Sarah actually tries to wipe off her blood fast enough by just stopping time for a second. And this is where, Sarah says, "No, I don't have anything. There's still blood underneath your mouth, mostly near your lips." This is where, mostly, Moriyama and Catherine are too embarrassed to say anything. Selena is actually trying to think of something. And this is where Issei said, "Well, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting you girls to be pervs. And yet you call us the perverted trio. Even though you girls just instantly had blood noses after me lifting up my shirt for a second. Whatever. I should probably be getting home. And you two, or mostly all four of you, should be getting home. Now, for the love of God, or anything, or whatever, Christ, Jesus, I don't give a damn. Whichever God you believe in, I don't care. Fuck off and start following me and my friends, unless you two are, all of you are trying to see something that basically you girls become very thirsty for." This is where, they all blush and say, "We're not thirsty." This is where Issei says, "Really? Okay, so I'm guessing that all of you had boyfriends before, right? That means you're not thirsty because you know exactly what to do during a situation of alone time with them." This is where they all blush and say, "No. Do you know?" This is where he says, "Well, I don't date dudes, so no." This is where, they kind of just glare at him and say, "We're not talking about that. We're talking about when you're alone with a girl." He says, "Not really, and I really don't care. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm going home." This is where, Sarah took her friggin' chance and just grabbed Issei from the hand. And this is where, mostly Issei says, "What are you?" This is where, Sarah tries to kiss him until Issei manages to stop her. And this is where Issei says, kiss the hand. But not the point. I'm out of here. This is where Issei makes a magic circle under him and disappear by managing to wiggle his arm away from Sarah and teleport. But yeah. Sarah grit her teeth and say, "Damn it." This is where, Selena and the others say, "Were you trying to kiss him?" This is where, Sarah says, "No." I was trying to stop him and ask him more questions. Bye. This is where she uses her mostly not magic, her ability just to get away. This is where Selena says, "Wait, you idiot! Fuck, you're my right home." This is where she then falls with Catherine and Mariama. But yeah, this is where we go into Issei kind of getting home and saying, "God damn, those girls are kind of crazy." Whatever. So we go into a time skip of mostly Issei managed to train his friends in how to use guns. Luckily, Mariama and Catherine, and even Selena, and also, Sarah, are not going to actually stalk them for a while because mostly Issei knows they're there most of the damn time. Or when they're there, he knows. When they're not there, he also knows. Because, yeah, they're not there. This is where, he trains his friends in how to use a gun using, mostly first rubber bullets and then, mostly on a 9mm. And then after that, it was using a double barrel shotgun. This is where Issei said, okay, he pulls out 2 packs of bullets. One was like ducks, mostly a picture of ducks, and the other one's a picture of deer. This is where, he then tells his friends, okay, which one do you guys want? This is where, both of them say, what is the one with the duck? This is where, it wasn't a double barrel shotgun, it was a 12 gauge shotgun. So, of course, this is where, both of his friends say, we need bullets in the first place. This is where, mostly his 2 friends looks at the pictures of mostly one had some ducks and the other has some deer. This is where, both of his friends say, what's the difference? This is where, Issei says, I'm glad you asked, cuz. This is where, Issei says, glad you guys asked, cuz. The ones with the ducks, I won't kill a man. That would just pepper him up nicely. So, yeah. This is where, he then says, with the buckshot. Or mostly with, that one's called birdshot, but yeah. But with the other one, the one with the deer, it's called buckshot. And that right there will put a hole in a truck. And it will go through. So yeah, that'll definitely kill a man. This is where both of his friends just looks at him with widened eyes and says, what the fuck is wrong with you half the damn time? He says, oh, come on, guys. Just pick one of them. This is where both of her friends just kind of looks at him and says, dude, whatever. This is where Murahama grabs the one with the bird shot, which is like the one with the ducks. And of course, this is where Matsui grabs the duck, not the duck one, the bull, bull, mostly the deer shot. And of course, this is where it's called buckshot. And this is where, he starts putting in the slugs into the shotgun. But yeah, even, Matsui's doing the same, but yeah. This is where, mostly that is happening, but of course, Issei noticed one thing. With his senses, he actually managed to pick up someone. Someone right now spying on all 3 of them. This is where, Issei said, Matsui, I need you to point at that tree. This is where, Matsui says, that's the oddest target I ever thought of. Why? Near that bush, I think I heard a deer. Or not a deer, mostly like a cat. I wanted to shoot at it. This is where, someone who was right now in the bushes right now winding their eyes. It was a girl with white hair and of course like kind of, what was her eye color? She had yellowish eyes and this is where she winded her eyes because she only was, she only got told by, Rias to kind of go following the perverted, or mostly one of the perverts being the leader, being Issei, because he has a powerful sacred gear. It can be draconic somewhat. That's what she said to, Konako. And Konako decides to follow him. Now, of course, this is where, she winded her eyes when mostly Issei decides to tell Matsui to shoot at the bushes with a shotgun that mostly Issei told, mostly the bullets to be buckshot, which Konako can only guess that how big that bullet is going to kind of kill her, or mostly because even though she might be a supernatural devil, guns still hurt a lot. So of course, this is where, she doesn't know if she should run or get or whatever. This is where, he says, okay, aim, got it, then pull the trigger slowly. And this is when he pulls the trigger, this is where he says, did you not? This is where Issei grabs a shotgun. Right now, you know that bottom part of the shotgun where you like, or whatever, mostly, what was it called? Fuck, I can't remember. But mostly he kind of does that, and this is where Issei says, now fire at the bush. This is where, Konako is already gone. And this is where, Issei noticed that Konako already left, and when mostly Matsui shot at it, this is where, the cat's already gone. This is where Issei says, damn, I think the cat's already gone. Wait, didn't you say it was a rabbit? Well, I think it was a cat rabbit. I can't fucking tell, bro. I'm not that good at censoring. This is where Konako is saying, that fucking crazy bastard. This is where, well, Konako says, because mostly, she doesn't call him a perverted bastard, mostly a crazy bastard, because mostly, he told one of his friends to shoot at the bushes, knowing damn well maybe she was there. Or just thinking it was just some random cat or rabbit. Which, she's now thinking that mostly Issei is not not pervert, but a crazy bastard that needs to be calmed down most of the damn time. Issei said, okay, while you guys kind of deal with that, I'm gonna go look for some stuff, okay? This is where, well, mostly they nod, and of course they're kind of just targeting practice, kind of like still hearing sense and other stuff. Of course they know Issei will just yell out saying, hey guys, don't shoot at me when he's like around them, but yeah. Or mostly, they actually got targets, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly both Matsui and Murahama are just practicing and shooting the targets and trying to get better at shooting the targets, but yeah. This is where Issei is kind of like going through the forest, the one where Konako would have been at. Of course, you can still hear and sense where she would be at. Issei is kind of walking, and this is where Issei kind of like said, oh, come here, rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. I know you're around here, rabbit, 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 rabbit. This is where, well, mostly his friends hear gunshots. They won't actually go towards mostly Issei's location, because Issei already told them that he doesn't need their help, because he's a professional at shooting. So yeah. This is where, well, Issei pulls out a gun from mostly his pockets, with two of them, mostly from his, like, near his waist. And of course, this is where both of the guns are loaded. We're not what's it called plastic bullets, because he didn't put plastic bullets. He actually put real bullets. And this is where, well, he's just saying, where is that rabbit? I heard a rabbit. I swear. Maybe it wasn't a rabbit, but a devil. This is where Issei points the gun right into the tree, like mostly up the tree, and of course he sees Konako. This is where Issei says, found you. This is where, well, Konako wind her eyes and say, I didn't even make a noise. This is where, well, even though Konako didn't make a noise, Issei can still kind of sense her, being able to smell, but yeah. This is where, well, he says, sorry, but you smell like a cat. I'm sorry, but I can smell you from a fucking mile away. But that's not the point. Why the hell are you here, devil? Tell me your fucking deal, or I'll blow your brains out in an instant. And I don't care if you are the mascot of Ria's Grandma's kind of barrage. This is where, well, Konako wind her eyes, and this is where, well, Issei right now kind of loads the gun back, about to pull the trigger, and this is where Konako says, fine. I was just looking around. I saw you guys practicing guns, and I thought guns were illegal in Japan. Issei says, oh, they are. This is where Konako says, and how do you have them? Illegal traits. This is where, well, Konako says, who the fuck just admits that? Issei says, but who cares? Besides, you devils do the exact same thing, so you can't really blame me with illegal stuff that I buy in the black market, do you? Besides, devils do the same, so don't judge me. So you can't even bullcrap me saying that your master Ria's Grandma hasn't actually done something like that. Does it work? Well, mostly Konako narrow her eyes and says she hasn't. Yeah, you can stop the bullcrap. I'm not buying any devil bullshit. This is where, well, mostly Konako narrow her eyes, and this is where, well, Issei says, you can narrow your eyes all you want, but I know damn well what you devils do. I don't like it at all. You go after humans that have special, sacred gears, and then use them because, well, they're useful. Whatever. Now, of course, that pisses me off. How the fact that you devils can't just, like, train on your own to get stronger. Instead, you use someone else's strength to get, well, mostly through life. Like, God, can't you people just train for once in your damn life than actually using someone else's strength? Like, the fuck do you think this is? What the fuck do you think this is? Your fucking main protagonist life? What do you think that you people are the main what's it called? Main protagonist in some kind of anime? Bro, this is real life, not fucking anime or whatever. That's why I use something in reality, and that is guns to kill anything that moves. And I know that bullets don't hurt you as much as holy bullets. That's the case that I can do this. This is where Issei switches the gun into a holy gun. Issei said, I can literally transform any of my weapons into whatever I need in any cases. So of course, right now, you're in front of me, devil, so I can easily right now shoot you. Without a care in the world. I know that might start a war with the devils and whatever, but I don't give a damn. I'll kill you in an instant if you keep right now spying on us. This is where Koneko's her instant is telling to run away from Issei because Issei's dangerous. More dangerous than normal than anyone can actually suspect. Sir Koneko right now near her eyes, thinking that Issei won't shoot at her until Issei really shoots a bullet, misses her entirely, but almost like just hits her like near the like hair. Right now, like burning some of her hair, and of course because it's made out of light bullet, and of course it smashes behind her, mostly in one of the tree branches. This is Issei says, "That's a fair warning. Next bullet, that won't miss. That will hit you in the head entirely. So go." This is where Koneko grit her teeth and just leaves. Issei said, "Pathetic devil. Damn annoying devils always annoy me. Well, I should probably start putting magic circles around my house, making sure that that damn red hair doesn't follow me, or whatever. Time to go." This is where, well, he then goes to his friends and says that they're gonna have to cut it off short because mostly a devil was actually kind of watching them. This is where, well, mostly they were confused about devils, and this is where Issei explains about the supernatural. This is where they say, "Oh, so is that why I can do this?" That's where, well, Morohama just snapped his fingers, and this is where a wolf actually appears. A black wolf with red eyes. This is where it's like a puppy. This is where Issei said, "Is that a sacred gear?" This is where, well, mostly, Matsui says, "How the hell can you do that?" Morohama says, "I don't know what it is, but mostly I found it when I was in the hospital. It's mostly always mostly kind of comforting me, and that's why I don't feel too traumatized. And since our training and other things, mostly I've been able to use this wolf much better. It's been able to kind of just like somewhat, well, not really talk to me, but mostly it's just helping me out. And I can also do this." This is where he asks the wolf to come near him, and this is where the wolf right now transforms into a black sword, and this is where, well, Matsui swings around and says, "I can do this." Issei says, "Interesting, so you have a sacred gear. I can't tell if it's the longitis because I really have not really cared too much about the longitis. But it could be a longitis. I don't know much about the longitis. You're gonna have to talk to some devil or someone to see something like that." I see. This is where Morohama says, "And I don't have a sacred gear at all, do I?" Issei right now activated his eyes, which both Matsui and even Morohama just widened their eyes after seeing their friend's eyes right now switch into a different color. Well, both of them switches into a different color. One is being blue and one is yellow. Basically look like this. These stars. They have stars in the middle, but yeah. So where, well, he says that, "Hold properly still, Matsui." This is where Matsui understands. And this is where Issei nods and says, "You do have a sacred gear. It's similar to that well, it's actually similar and quite similar, and actually near Morohama's. Just a little bit different." This is where, well, Matsui says, "What is the sacred gear called?" That's, well, that's for you to find out and for me to kind of just wait until you activate it. Really, motherfucker? Really? This is where Issei nods and says, "Yes, motherfucker. Fuck you." "So what is your sacred gear?" This is where Issei says, "I never did really mention what my sacred gear is, because, well, mostly, yeah, I don't care. One day I will tell you guys, but if you're talking about my eyes, I could always do this. I don't know why, but yeah. I really have no clue. I think it's something heritage on my mother's side. Mostly some kind of heritage on my mother's side. My father's side, I don't think has anything special. Maybe physically resistance from like hits. I guess my grandfather always just told me that was more resistant than normal and more colder than normal, saying that I was similar to that, like a fallen angel, but I'm not a fallen angel. I definitely know I'm not a fallen angel, because fallen angels wouldn't attack me that much, would they?" This is where they said, "We don't know much about the supernatural, so yeah, we just started." He says, "Well, yeah. Well, Morohama, I need you to hide that sacred gear. I don't know if it is a sacred gear, it might be a sacred gear or whatever, but you need to hide it. Make sure that mostly the devils doesn't find out. And I will tell you who the devils are and mostly our school is. Sona Shotora is mostly Sona Sifri. Her real name is Sifri, being a devil of what's it called, the underworld, and a class ranking devil. Of course, then there's Ria's Gremory, who is actually from the Gremory family of the devil clan. Well, mostly in the devil world, but yeah. But this is where, well, Issei then explains to us what to call Matsui if he does unlock his sacred gear to also hide it because it's better not to show them anything. Of course, this is where Issei then explains about the incarnation devils. This is where all of them nodded, and of course we'll never be able to see, well, the girls ever, well, mostly those girls ever again, to be kind of normal no more. This is where Issei also explains that there's other supernatural beings, like fallen angels, like Junko and what's it called, Rainer being fallen angels. This is where they said, oh damn, I thought you couldn't sense fallen angels' energies. Ah, well, that's a problem. I kind of made up when after me and Matsui beat the shit out of that one dude. Wait, you guys did what? Oh, don't worry, we'll explain that later. It's going to be a fun story for you. What? I feel like it's not. Oh, shush. What's it called? Matsui, or not Matsui, Murahama, you'd be fine. This is where, well, Issei then explains about mostly other supernatural beings, like those who actually possess somewhat magic, or some of them that has sacred gears, like Catherine and Morihama. And then he explains about like Celestia and Imachara, who actually have what's called interesting abilities, and probably into a different pantheon or some kind of abilities, whatever bullshit. But yeah, they're not magic consideredly. This is where, well, his friends nod and says, that's quite interesting. So is there exorcists in our school? I don't think so. We go to the next day, and of course, where when Issei kind of said that he doesn't think there's exorcists, he sees some rogue figures that has a white cross, and this is where Issei kind of looks at his friends, and this is where his friend says, so what are those? Exorcists. This is where his friend says, I thought you said there was no exorcist. Correct me again, but there's exorcists right there. 4 of them. Actually, no. 5 of them. Oh, for fuck's sake. Please don't tell me they're enrolled into the school. I hope they just are just here passing by. This is where, well, they just look at mostly Issei and says, why is that? Issei then explains, mostly he then explains about his entire life, or not entire life, but mostly about his like, mostly bounty hunter slash kind of hitman slash mercenary kind of career that he's on ever since he was a child, mostly thanks to his grandfather's kind of like mostly business. He took over his grandfather's business, but yeah. And this is where his friend says, okay, so you basically shot some kind of priestess in the head during some kind of like priestess pray or whatever. Hey man, I was getting paid a lot of money, and I was going to say one thing, that priestess had it coming. Why? Because it was a pervert slash pedophile and this and other stuff. And also his fucking talking bored the fuck out of me, so I shot him. Goddamn, that I was so bored. I was about to fall asleep. Goddamn, Issei, what the hell? You don't care. You're on menace time. What the hell, Issei? This is where both of his friends say. And this is where, well, Issei says, well, yeah, I'm always on menace time. I don't care about people. This is where, well, his friend says, okay, Issei, we know. We really just know that you don't care about anyone. Exactly. Well, let's just get to class. And make sure not to reveal any of your powers or any skills towards anyone, because we still want to be, like, still the underdogs of this school. Making sure that no one still believes that we're stronger than them, and being able to kick their ass in an instant. This is where both of his friends say, shake their heads and say, sure, whatever. This is where Issei says, good. Well, I'll be kind of, well, going to class. See you guys. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. This is where, well, Issei is walking to class, but this is where, well, a red-haired beauty actually stops him. And of course, where, well, it was Ria's grandmother. Ria says, may you come to my, what's it called, mostly, club room, Issei-kun, or mostly, Hiro-kun? This is where Haidu-kun. This is where Issei walks past her and says, no thanks. I don't go with filthy devils like you two anywhere. And if you think I'd rather fucking talk to you, like hell I'd rather talk to you. Also, if you want to use your brother to threaten me, don't worry, I met a weird brother anyway. And not gonna lie, I could have easily shot him in the head and killed him. So, fuck off. This is where Issei walks past her, and right now Ria is surprised to actually see that Issei already met up with her brother in an instant. And Issei wouldn't hesitate to shoot him. But yeah, then again, he would have shot him, but he didn't do it because mostly he knows about how devils are and they're mostly leaders. And Sursex isn't a bad person, he just doesn't like devils entirely. This is where, well, Issei walks away, but yeah. This is where Rias is kind of dumbfounded, but this is where, well, Issei kind of gets to his class. And before getting to his class, he sees, well, Catherine and Moriyama and just there in the front of mostly before getting into class, seeing Issei. Issei said, "Can I get into class?" This is where, well, they kind of grab him from the hand, what both of them did, and of course dragged him away. This is where Issei said, "Wait, what the fuck are you two doing?" This is where they have kind of tints of reds on their faces, but this is actually when we're leave it off for, well, part 2 of this What If. I will continue on with part 3 later on, but for right now, I'm going to leave it off here for part 2. But other than that, bye, see you, and yeah, bye.